More transfer news now. Manchester United exploring a potential deal for the West Ham midfielder Mateus Fernandes.
With one midfielder all but in Edison from Atlanta, Manchester United are continuing their efforts to reinforce their midfield in this summer's transfer window, and they are exploring a potential deal for West Ham's Mateus Fernandes. Now, as they are doing with multiple targets at this moment, United are doing background work on what a potential deal could look like, but they see Fernandes as a realistic deal they could do this summer, especially after West Ham's relegation to the Championship. But what we understand at Sky Sports News is West Ham value Fernandes for around £80 million, are in no rush to sell the player. Now, West Ham signed Fernandes for £38 million last summer from Southampton, and the decision makers at the club believe that he had one of the best seasons last year for a young player in the Premier League, and he has potential to become as good as someone like Declan Rice, who the club sold Rice to Arsenal for £105 million in 2023, and West Ham could even demand a fee something like that. Now look, I think Manchester United, very unlikely, I can say that with confidence, that will go anywhere near that kind of figure, so a compromise will have to be met if they are to do a deal for Fernandes. And I think from West Ham's perspective, while they're not ruling him out to stay in the Championship, of course they would love that. First time they're trying to get back to the Premier League. They're also aware reports that the likes of Arsenal, PSG, as well as Manchester United, all very interested in Fernandes. And at the moment, what we can also tell you is there have been no official offers made for the young Portuguese midfielder, and also no club-to-club talks between Manchester United and West Ham for Fernandes just yet. But what we are telling you is Manchester United exploring the conditions of what a deal could look like for the young Portuguese midfielder as they look to bolster their midfield this summer.
Have won their legal dispute with Everton after Burnley sued Everton for breaching Premier League rules. Our sports news correspondent Geraint Hughes is with me now. Geraint, just remind us of the details and what this is all about.
I'm going to put a shiver down the back of next to a lot of people. I'm going to mention three letters: PSR. Providence Sustainability Rules. It all relates to that. I'm going to have to take you back to sort of 2022 to 2024 to quickly explain this. Everton, you may recall, in November of 2023, were deducted 10 points for breaches of PSR rules. That was reduced on appeal in February 2024 to 6 points. Evertonians will remember that one. The accounting period it relates to ended in 2022. So, Burnley, under Premier League rules, are able to seek compensation from any club if they feel they have suffered losses due to a breach of a Premier League rules. In this case, Everton breaching PSR rules. Burnley were relegated in 2022. Their argument is that the Everton PSR breach relates to a period that ended when they were relegated. Everton's counter-argument to that is that yes, it was, but it was during the period, the accounting period hadn't ended. And nonetheless, at that point, in around May, June of 2022, they were completely unaware they had breached Premier League rules. Because as you remember, the first thing he said, the 10-point deduction came in November of 2023. So that's all the legalese around it. But essentially, Premier League clubs allow for a club, in this case Burnley, to seek compensation for a club that has broken the rules. So Burnley relegated in 2022. Clearly, they're going to feel, had they stayed in Premier League as opposed to being relegated to the Championship, there are going to be some financial differences there. So that's the essence of it. Just to remind people again what PSR, Providence Sustainability Rules, are at the moment or at this time.
How good English football is. I personally think that would have been the wrong approach to take, because he would have been setting himself up for a fall.
Again, you've proved you are simply nicer than me. All right, this tournament already full of controversy. Ball hasn't even been kicked yet, and there's controversy everywhere. Iran involved again. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I'll have to take my time just to explain this because it's quite a complicated story. But what's happened is that the Islamic Republic of Iran's Football Federation have come out and said that they are outraged because they're claiming that their ticket allocation for their World Cup games has been pulled by FIFA. Now, the background to this is that every football federation taking part in this World Cup, 48 of them, have been given a ticket allocation by FIFA for their group games. The allocation is about 8% of the total capacity of each stadium. Now, the complication that's arisen is that here in the US, there are economic sanctions in place administered by the Department of Treasury. They're in place against Iran and